Sci-Ho.
So if you're anything like us, you've probably spent a lot of time on YouTube and you've probably come across something that looks like this, or maybe something that looks like this. Those products there are called drones, and they're generally very, very expensive to buy. Now, drones are being used quite regularly now to really flesh out people's vlogs, and they really do increase the kind of production value that the vlogs actually give off, because some of the picture quality and video quality that you get from these drones are absolutely amazing. But as I said, they do come at a cost. Now, the cheapest one you probably see online that people use is the DJI Spark, which I believe is coming in about £500 now, all the way up to the DJI Phantom 4, which really comes in at around £1,000 plus. You can get it a little bit cheaper from some online retailers. Still, it will burn an absolute hole in your pocket. So we set ourselves a challenge of finding something a little bit budget friendly, and we think we've been quite successful in what we've found. So the product we found was a Recon Observation Drone sold through the retailer Hawkins Bazaar here in the UK. Now, what's nice about the actual drone itself, it does come with video and photo features on there. It's not quite the 4K that you expect with some of the higher priced drones, and I believe the actual resolution for the video is 640 by 480, so it's not actually high definition either. It does really scratch that itch of wanting to fly a drone and doing it on an actual budget as well, which I think is quite cool. So it also does come with Gyro Stabilization as well, which means that when it's flying, the footage won't actually shake. It will try and compensate for you panning the drone and try and make it as smooth as possible. You've got also a 50-meter range on here as well, so it can fly in any direction 50 meters before it loses signal to the remote control. On here you've got an 8-minute flight time, which is very low again, but the size of the battery in this actual product is very small. Now, what's nice about it is it charges through USB as well, and it also comes included with an SD card. It uses micro SD card. It does come with 4 gig micro SD card. I mean, a standard definition film, that's quite a lot, and that will definitely last the full 8 minutes flight time plus on top, so you're looking at way more footage than the actual flight time that it can handle. So actually looking inside the box itself, you've got the actual drone here, which is very, very light. It's a little bit worrying when it comes to things like wind. The wind could easily blow this away, I think, but you've got 3 different speed modes on here, which is set by the actual remote control to try and compensate for the speed of the wind. Now, you've also got in here the remote control as well, with the analog sticks, on and off button in the middle. Photo and video, you click these to activate the both. So if you want to take a picture, you click that. To activate video recording, click that once as well. On the top, you've got the flip LED. So when you're flying with the drone, you click that button, it actually does a flip to the side. And then your speed control is on the left hand side as well. The next thing we have here are stands. So you can plug the stands directly into the bottom of the drone, which is, they are actually quite stiff, and you'll be able to hear like an audible click once they go in, but they're actually quite tough as well, and it gives the drone a bit of a softer landing, so it's not actually landing on the camera, which is on the bottom. So if you're coming in to land, it'll hit the stands before it'll hit the camera. And then as you can see, that sits on the stand. We've got some spare propellers here. We've got a USB charger as well, which plugs directly into the battery. And we've also got a micro SD card reader, so we can transfer footage from the drone directly onto a laptop or a computer. The last thing in the box we've got is a set of instructions, which if we have a look, it gives you some basic setups. The buttons that are dotted around the actual analog sticks will fine tune the drone. So if you're hovering and it's going off to the side, you click the fine tune button and then it makes the drone hover, basically like a calibration kind of thing. You don't have to do it while it's on the ground, you can do it in the air, which makes it more stable in the air, so you can get a lot cleaner footage without having to really combat much resistance on the controller itself. Now, wind resistance you have to take that into consideration as well. So if you are flying it on a windy day, that's probably going to take hold of this, to be honest with you. So do bear that in mind. But if you're on a nice clear day, you can fine tune it by sticking both analog sticks in the middle and clicking these buttons around the sides. So that's pretty useful. If we get this switched on so it's ready to go, the on button is actually on the bottom of the drone itself. So now the drone's switched on and it's ready to be synced up to the controller itself. Now if you sync the controller, I'm not sure if it's actually synced automatically, you have to flick the analog stick up and down. So now that beep has told me that the drone has been synced to the controller itself. So what I'm going to do as we're inside, I'm going to set up the calibration, which I clicked all 4 buttons as we were on a level table. There's no wind in this building. Okay, so now we've got some decent capacity inside of the battery. I just had to put it on charge for a little while. We are going to get this to hopefully fly. So, the actual controls of the drone itself are not that... are not actually that sensitive. So I thought that they'd be a lot more sensitive than they actually are, but... Okay, so what I just did there was I just synced it and made it hover, and it looks as if it's actually hovering relatively well. I mean, it's only been a... It doesn't hover still. You have to really balance the left-hand controller to get any kind of hover. You can't just leave it in one position. I don't know if you heard it then crash into the camera, you probably did. I see, that time it just continued flying forward, so what we're going to have to do, I think, we're going to have to get this outside. We're going to have to get this somewhere in the open, in a big field. So we've just come down to the park. As I said, we needed a big, wide open space, and I think we've got it here. So hopefully we'll be able to get a decent demonstration of what this drone can actually do rather than flying it around inside. I think we've lost. It's going further and further away. It's gone so far away. So we're going to have to now go and get it back because that was obviously bigger than 50 meters. So we've actually lost range on the drone itself. I would say that's a successful first flight, I think. So to conclude then, what is it about this drone that I actually enjoyed so much? It was really fun to fly. At the park, the footage you just saw, it was extremely fun to fly. I'm glad that we actually got the chance to take it to such an open area rather than flying it inside. It really does unlock the drone's potential. The biggest downfall is the 8-minute battery life and the fact that it doesn't actually come supplied with any other batteries. That's such a shame because it would have been nice to have 4 or 5 batteries all lined up so you can have a decent flight time. Now the only other thing that this drone is not really built for is the quality of the footage. The footage that we saw, although yes it did look quite smooth, was still very grainy, very low resolution. It only comes in at 640 by 480, which compared to the 4K standard of drones today is extremely low. A nice thing about the drone though is that it's extremely well built. I mean, we crashed it a few times in here, flying it inside, and we crashed it from quite a height as well when we were at the park. All the blades are still intact, they're still connected. Yes, it's picked up a couple of scuffs, but a nice thing about this is it is only £50, so it's not gonna increase your production value of your YouTube videos or be able to be used in a film project, but to really scratch that itch of wanting to go and fly a decent drone, I think this is definitely the one. The last thing about the drone is the fact that it's very light, and although the wind wasn't that bad during our time in the field, it was still strong enough to really stop the drone from flying. There's a bit in our clip where the drone is just trying to push through the wind against the wind but it's just literally ended up stationary, so you can't get any further because the wind is just so strong. We did put it up to speed 3 as well, but that didn't really make much difference. I'm not sure if that affects the battery life, that the drone has to work that much harder to push through the wind. That's something that you will consider as well. Thank you very much for watching this review. If you did enjoy the Recon Observation Drone video, then do click that like button. Please do subscribe to keep up with all of our latest tech and gaming videos, and we will see you in the next one.